name is Alma and welcome to my cocina. Today I'm going to teach you how to make black beans from scratch and I'm going to teach you on how to make a good recipe, black bean salad. Vamos a empezar. You will need 2 cups of black beans, a quarter of onions, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 garlic, cilantro, green onions, 2 corn, 2 limes, 1 chili jalapeno, 1 cup of grated tomatoes, half a cup of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of pepper. Finally, you'll need a colander, a pot with the lid, and a pan. Optional things also you can add to the salad is avocado if you're going to eat it in the same day. And another option thing you can use it to make it easier on you is the corn. If you don't have fresh corn, you can use the canned corn, but in my opinion it tastes better with fresh corn. Another thing is optional is chili jalapeno. I am going to add that today. You don't have to if you don't like spicy things. We're gonna start cooking the beans because that's the one that takes longer. Usually I always buy the black beans in a bag. You can buy sometimes they're already like they're not in a bag. So this is a pound, 2 cups of black beans. So we're gonna open it and we're going to rinse it out. So I'm gonna put it in here. Usually this one don't have any rocks or whatever, but you can still look at it. So I'm gonna rinse it out really well in this one so the water comes. This is an easy way to rinse the beans really well so all the dirt comes in a colander if you have one. Otherwise you can do it in a bowl. Some people usually soak the beans in water. I usually don't soak it, just rinse it out and put it to cook. So I already add 6 cups of water here. That's what I need. And I'm gonna pour my beans here. Now I'm gonna put my beans in the stove, and right now I'm gonna use high heat until I bring it boil. Probably takes like 10 to 15 minutes and start boiling. I'm gonna add my onion, 2 garlics, and 2 teaspoons of salt. So all my ingredients already out in the beans, so we're just gonna let it boil. My beans been cooking for like 10-12 minutes in high heat to bring it to boil. Now they really boil. Now it's time to cover, but also to lower the heat. I have my cup right here, so we are going to lower. We never want to leave the flame too high because it's gonna settle over and then also the water evaporate and will not cook. So now we're gonna leave it lower by like about 45 minutes to an hour. We're gonna check them, and the thing that you wanted to see is just to look they still boil, like they're not boiling crazy, but they still boil. So it's still low but it's still boil. That's what you wanted to see. So sometimes just come and stir, not too much, just maybe like in 20 minutes. In the meantime, my beans are cooking. I'm gonna chop my ingredients and we're gonna start with the tomatoes. I already washed my tomatoes. Make sure you wash it. I'm sure you guys know. So I'm just gonna, my tomatoes kind of a little big, so I'm gonna cut it in half and a little bit like that. I always take this part. I don't know, it's just me. I just got done cutting my tomatoes. It's 1 cup tomatoes, and I'm gonna be moving to my cutting my onions. This part we don't need it. I'm gonna start with 2. I have 4 here. I'm gonna use the white part and I'm gonna use the green part, and I'm gonna chop it a little bit small so to incorporate in our salad. This one give it a good flavor. I just done cutting my green onions. I have 4 onions and it comes to half a cup. Moving on to the cilantro. I am going to fold it and scrunching it up so it can come in small pieces. Grab it and start from here. I use the stem and everything. I think that's enough. I just chopped my cilantro and I just measured it up, and I'm going to put it 2/3 of a cup. Next I'm going to chop my jalapeno, and the first thing we're going to start is by cutting this part and cut it in half. If you don't want it too spicy, we're going to take the seeds. And this one is spicy. How did I know it's spicy? Every time you see the seeds a little bit red, that means it is spicy. Some of it are not so spicy, but I can tell by the seed. If you want it spicy, you can leave it My girls don't like it spicy, so I am going to take all the seeds. And be careful touching it with your hands, because if you touch your eyes, you will burn your eyes. This is just to give you a flavor. We are going to start by cutting very tiny. My knife is kind of a little dull. I cut a little bit. Moving on to the corn, I'm gonna peel it and chop. I start from here. I usually cut it here. It's easy to cut it. It's easy to take the cuts. We're going to take the hair out. I just do this. Moving on to the next one. So I am going to rest a little in my board. I am going to put this one right there. I'm gonna try to cut right here. I noticed I put my daughter the other day to chop the corn, and she usually was cutting half the corn, so make sure you cut the whole corn, not just half of it. And that's how it's supposed to look, you see? If you cut half of it, no good. But get close to cut all the corn. I put this one over here so my corn doesn't get roll all over when you cut it. And even I can even remove this one right here. Put this one in the middle. I just done cutting my corn. I usually just buy 2 corns. This is what I cut, like a cup and a half. As you cook it kind of shrink a little bit, it becomes like a 1 cup. Finally, my beans are done. They've been cooking totally for 1 hour and 12 minutes. So they're done. Well, the beans, this is the consistency we wanted to have. We want it soft. When they've been cooking for 45 minutes, check them. They might be done. Maybe it takes 1 hour, because all depends on the beans. Some beans are a little bit older, and that's why they takes a little longer. But the thing that you want is just to be soft. So now we are going to drain it, because we want it to be cool to add the salad. But you can eat it as it is. If you want to eat it with no salad, you can eat it just like that. You don't need to drain the water, but I'm going to make it salad, so I'm going to drain it. And I am going to put it in my colander. So we're gonna let it cool down before we add our ingredients. So this is my garlic. I am going to take it out. And I am going to move to cook my corn, and I'll show you. I already have my corn cut. I just put 1 tablespoon of oil, and I'm gonna let it heat up for a little bit before I add my corn. I've been heating my oil for like 2 minutes in medium flame, so I'm gonna add my corn. So I'll be cooking my corn about 7 minutes to 10 minutes. You'll know when it's done. The whole time that you're cooking the corn, most of you just need to be stirring so the corn doesn't stick to the pan. That corn has a very good flavor when you cook it like that. Okay, my corn has been cooking for 7 minutes, so we're gonna turn it off and we're gonna let it cool down for a little bit before we add it to the beans. Now it's time to make the dressing. So I already have over here half a cup of olive oil, and I am going to add 1 teaspoon of pepper. And I'm just gonna add it right there. And I am going to add 2 limes. So I'm gonna just squeeze it in here. Cut the limes in half and then just squeeze it. Take all the juice, medium lime. I'm just going to stir it. So my dressing is ready. Now it's time to put everything together. Like, 1 tip, if you want to cook the beans in the morning and then make it at night, or cook it today and make your salad tomorrow, it's up to you. My beans are cooked. If you want to let it cool down, you don't have to drain it right away. I did drain mine, so mine are being cool. It takes a little while till they cool down. So I'm gonna start adding my corn. 2 corns, 1 cup red tomatoes. I already chopped it. And I'm gonna add my cilantro, half a cup. Green onions, and I'm gonna add my pepper, and I have my dressing, so I'm gonna add my dressing. Now the only thing that we need to do is just stir it. So we're just going to stir it. That's a very healthy, very good for you if you don't like to eat a lot of meat. We don't add any salad or anything because we already put it in the beans. Okay, that's pretty much for my bean salad. You can also add like cucumbers if you wish, avocado, even peppers, but that is really good. This is how my bean salad looks. This one can serve at least 4-5 people. It's not very hard to eat. It takes like 1 hour and 20 minutes all together. I think when you chop the things as you go. This is really good for parties. I see this one at parties. A lot of people like it. I love it. I love beans and all the ingredients. Is one of my favorites. You can add avocado if you can eat it right away, because if you're gonna put it in the refrigerator, don't. The avocado doesn't stay, it turns brown. So let's try with. You can also eat it with chips, and that's what I'll eat it. It's really good. So we see you hasta la vista next time. Hopefully you enjoy and try my recipe. Adios.